So as you can see, I cut all the rust out. It did extend into the rocker panel a bit. Basically, this is the rocker panel, this channel, and the rust extended pretty bad into the side of the rocker panel. So what I'm gonna do is do one panel over the top of this large hole, and then I'll come back and from the other side, I'll weld all the way along the rocker panel. Before you continue, ask yourself, do you have your tetanus shot? Because this is rusty metal. And after you cut it, it is very sharp, rusty metal. As you can see from my various markings. But yeah, this is after I vacuumed it out. Now what I'm gonna do before I do anything else is spray it with a nice coat of some rust preventing primer. This is what I use to coat any metal I don't want to rust. It's good stuff. And for all you asking what color the sides of the Baja Bug are, that rusty orange color is in fact this stuff. I got the inside all painted up, and now I'm gonna start actually building the sheet metal patch. So you can see that the patch will have to be about 15 inches. I'm gonna go ahead and cut 15.5 to 16 inches just to be sure. You don't wanna be wasting sheet metal. All right, so now what I'm gonna do is to get the bend correctly on the patch panel, I'm gonna measure to where the bend starts at about 9.5, and then I'll mark that. And then you can see my mark there. That's where the bend needs to start. Since this is decently thin sheet metal, I'm just gonna start the bend and then see if we can get a nice gradual bend. It's not gonna be perfect. It's gonna take some trial and error. And as you can see, patch panel fits really nicely. I have a nice gap all the way around. And that was after literally 30 seconds of just bending and fitting. You don't need any special sheet metal tools. They'd be nice to have, that's for sure. But for small patches like this, you just don't need them. So now I'm gonna paint the back side of the panel just to make sure it doesn't rust when it's in the car. So I'll use the same paint I used on the actual inside of the rocker panel, which is this Rust-Oleum Rusty Metal Primer. Now, as you can see, I've got the piece tacked in. Now I'm going to show you how to get a pretty good sheet metal weld. So you're going to be careful not to hold the gun onto the joint too long, or else it'll burn through because it's very thin sheet metal. So what you'll do is just give it a little zap and then let it cool, and then a little zap and let it cool. Guys, just a little update on the Baja Bug. I've got it in the shop right now. I've got the engine pretty well torn down, and I already cleaned up the pistons pretty well, and so got new rings ready to put on those. And then the rest of the motor should go back together soon. Everything seems to be in really nice shape. I think someone tore it down pretty recently before we bought it, and so everything is working really nicely. It's also got new heads, which is a nice plus. I'll have a more detailed video on it soon, but until then, stay tuned. And I'm gonna try and get this car back up and running by the time the Cruise in Maine car show comes around. And if you don't know what that is, that's the big yearly car show they do in Bozeman. I had the car there last year, and it was absolutely a great experience. I learned a lot, and people loved the Baja Bug. So gonna try and get it in again this year. That's August 21st. So if you're around Bozeman and want to come to Main Street and see this thing, come say hi to the crew. Be great. Anyways, like and subscribe. It really does help. Praise the YouTube algorithm and all that dumb stuff. So yeah, hopefully I'll see you then. Bye guys.